Linda had 4 children: Laura, Brenda Ann, Demon Child, and John David. John David used to light up my life. The subject today is about John David, so we're going to talk about him. He was a beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby, and he was handsome, and he was gentle, and he was kind. He was all the things that you would want for the son. Unfortunately, we never know truly what's going on in somebody's home unless we're there every day. I was living in Oklahoma. Linda was living in Kenner, Louisiana, and she had married a merchant marine of the sea, and I had married a merchant marine of the road. So we knew how it was to be alone. And when her husband would get off the ship, most of the time he stayed drunk, and he was very abusive. So that tells a lot about depression when you're verbally and physically abused. Anyway, in November of 1997, John David, he's very depressed. And Demon Child gives him a rifle. And then they taunt him every 30 minutes. Oh, you coward. Why you haven't shot yourself yet? And so, when you're feeling depressive and you're feeling suicidal, you need support to help you not commit suicide, not to push you to suicide. So I never really considered it as suicide, and this is my opinion, and probably my opinion only, that Demon Child murdered him because she taunted him every 30 minutes until he looked at his dad and he said, "Hey, Dad, look." Pow! And Linda was just walking out of the room. So basically, John David had shot himself in front of his mother and his father. And when I found the news, I was very, very sad because I'm very poor. I choose to marry rich men. And anyway, that night when I go to sleep, I am beside myself because I don't know how I'm going to get a ticket to go to Kenner, Louisiana. I am so sad. My father, John David, and my grandmother stand at the foot of my bed. Now, all 3 of these people have passed on. My grandmother had passed on in 64. My father passed in 91. And here is John David, and he just passed in 97, and saying, "Yes, you're going to your sister." And sure enough, the money showed up, and I really don't know where the money came from because I don't remember, and I don't remember how I got to the airport because my husband was on the road. But knowing my daughter, she sent me the money, but I can't remember. And I got there, and Brenda Ann had came in from Texas, and Tommy and Earl had come in too. And we did a Baptist funeral. I think the Baptist preacher said something about a bunch of Mormons showing up at a Baptist funeral, which was very uncalled for. But Brenda Ann sang, "On the wings of a snow white dove, he sends his pure, sweet love, signs from above, on the wings of a dove." When Noah had drifted many days on the sea, he searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had some, but wasn't forgotten. He sent down his love on the wings of a dove. I know there's more words, but those kind of words are important to me. It was a beautiful gathering of family and friends. And whenever Earl prayed, you could feel the presence of God in the room. And I can't remember the scripture and I can't remember the words. I could probably go find it if I wanted to, and I just say a few words of it and you will know it. I just open the Bible and I look down and it says, "I've gone before you to prepare a room." And that gave me solace to know that John had gone and God had prepared a place for him. And we're sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner, and Demon Child, she starts mocking her brother and saying things that she should not say. So I got up, got on the airplane. So, if you ever want to fly and the plane is empty, fly on Thanksgiving Day. And I went back to Kenner. But I was so blessed that I shared this time, with my sister. Well, the years passed by, like 9 years passed. And Linda and I talked every day on the telephone for 30 years. And anyway, I called Demon Child and I tell her, "Your mom's dying." And somehow it works out that I get Linda, because Linda is, she had been laying on her sofa for 30 years and nobody bothered to clean up the blood of John David. Very good, anyway. It was just, everybody came in, everybody did a hit and miss clean, everybody mourned and everybody left. Very disturbing, very, very disturbing. Anyway, I wind up going to Denton, Texas to pick up Linda. And she's very destroyed because because her husband went to prison for 18 years right after John David died for 18 DWIs. I don't know why they waited so long. And anyway, the prison had called and said that her husband was dying of cancer. Now, Linda had already lost her John David, and she had lost her Laura Lynn. I don't know the story of Lori Lynn. I do know the story of Lori Lynn. I bet I can't remember too well. But Linda had already lost two children, and now she's going to lose her husband. And so when she eats her food, she doesn't eat it in a very nice way, because she's out there. So anyway, I get Linda and I take her to my home in Dibble, and it's Thanksgiving again. And I'm fixing a Thanksgiving dinner for my husband and myself and for Linda. And Demon Child calls and says, I want you to bring my mother home right now. And I said, no, it's Thanksgiving. I am not going to. She said, well, my daddy wants to see her. So I said, I will get Linda to Shreveport by Saturday. So I get Linda to Shreveport Saturday. And Ellen's taunting her mother. Your husband's going to die. Blah, blah, blah. Your husband's dying. And, and Linda's just... Linda doesn't cry. Linda feels no pain. She's sitting there. Maybe that's why she had nervous breakdowns, because she just would go to the point of no return, keeping her feelings to herself. So anyway, I wait outside the prison while Linda and Ellen go see her husband. And then Demon Child comes out and she says, I need you to go close out all the accounts my dad has his names on. And you need to sell the house before he dies. Okay. Now here it is, Sunday morning now, and Linda and I head off for Kenner, and we stop at Linda's best friend's house for Monday night, and then we get to Kenner on Tuesday. John David is there in spirit, and we get in a big fight. He has been watching over his mother all these years, and he did not want his mother to leave. And so anyway, I know. So we talk, and anyway, Dee comes in from Austin to help me pack. And I'm telling John David, you got to let your mother go. She's going to die if you don't let her go. So I'm sitting in the room and this piece of paper falls down. And this is Tuesday evening. And the paper says, we buy ugly homes. Well, I had called a realtor, and Linda's house should have sold for $250,000. It was immaculate on the outside. But when Hurricane Camille, was it Camille? No, it wasn't Camille. Gosh, me and my memory. It was the big storm that hit New Orleans and really devastated New Orleans. It damaged Linda's roof, and Linda got $6,000 to fix her roof. And Demon Child says, you put that money in the bank and you don't fix the roof. But Demon Child had the fence fixed, so the house looked beautiful from the outside. But when you walked into Linda's house, and Ellen had not walked into that house in 9 years. She would come to the door, say something to her mother, and leave, and that would be it. I walked into that door. Linda was a chain smoker. She smoked at least 5 packs of cigarettes a day. The wall was yellow with nicotine, and around the fan was a big black circle. You go into the kitchen. Linda had a nice kitchen. Garbage disposal did not work. The dishwasher did not work. The stove did not work. The microwave did not work. and the refrigerator did not work. There was no working anything in that kitchen. And there were stains on the carpet. And I opened the closet door, and I even found a bloody shirt from John David that was stained. I mean, this is 9 years later. And anyway, I go to the laundry room. Cassandra, what? Can't remember. If you remember the name of the hurricane, put it in the remarks. And if I remember, I'll put it in the description. But anyway, you go into the laundry room, and the ceiling is falling in. And then you go into the first bathroom. She hadn't cleaned the bathroom, I don't know how many years, so the toilet itself was black. And then you go on down into the master bedroom, which she never went into after her husband left for prison. Katrina, it was Katrina. And the ceiling was falling down. So I called a realtor. The realtors were really happy to get this listing until they walked in the door, and that was that. But I called Ugly Homes, and they made an offer of $99,000. I took it. I went to the bank, and we withdrew all the money that was in joint accounts, except I made a big no-no for the demon child. I took all the money that I had gathered, and I took the money from the sale of the house, and I put it in annuities. I locked it up so Ellen couldn't touch it. But then I knew that Linda, when she got wherever she was going to have a new house, so I left $30,000 in her checking account. Now, Sunday, okay, I had left Dibble on Saturday morning to get to Shreveport. Sunday, I was back in Dibble in Norman Regional Hospital suffering from exhaustion. We got Linda's house emptied, sold, closed, because they did it very quickly. Everything happened in a week. It was amazing. And anyway, I don't know why I'm telling this story. Because we're supposed to be celebrating John David. But John David loved his mother so much. Even in death, he watched over his mother. Happy birthday, John David. Happy birthday.